Hello everyone, and welcome back to the third quarantine edition of The Current, a news magazine show produced by seniors of the South Elgin High School Beacon Academy. I'm your host, Daryl Barnes, reporting from my home, continuing to practice social distancing as you all hopefully are as well. But without further ado, let's check out what we got for you guys on today's show. Coming up, we take it to PJ and Gavin for a spider-packed movie review. Then later on, Tara gets an exclusive interview with a famous TikTok creator. Sarah brings you all the info on Autism Awareness Month, Jack checks in with some Beacon alum, and our girl Olivia cracks down on some coronavirus myths. All that and more coming up, but first, with Easter knocking on the door, Penny has the latest on alterations one local Bartlett church is making to their Easter egg hunt.
Easter is one of the biggest seasons of the year, and amid the COVID-19 epidemic, basically all events in churches are closed, including Village Church of Bartlett's annual Easter extravaganza. But with 85,000 eggs already packed just laying around the church, they found an alternate way to spread some cheer around the community. Last year, more than 5,000 people attended Village Church's Easter extravaganza, and they were expecting even more this year. But their plans changed when the governor announced the social distancing guidelines. So I talked to Communications Director Vicki Bassinger about their new plan. How did this alternative idea come up?
We had a member of the church come up to our pastor, and she said she had seen another church do an extravaganza a different way in light of the pandemic, and it was spreading out the eggs at other people's yards. So basically you take a group of eggs and you egg houses all over the place versus having all of the egg hunts at one time. Either way, we're about to egg 850 families on Saturday. We know that one of the best ways that we can be a light in the community is to share that love and share the support in the community during times of trial like this.
Even when Village Church's biggest outreach event of the year was canceled, they still found a way to love on the people in our community, which is a great example of how we should all love others during this time of uncertainty. For The Current, this is Penny Kaptukakis.
Now I know I'm going to be told that I'm not very punny, but I still think that was an excellent story, and that now it's time for some Quake trivia. Which Spider-Man character is the main focus of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, or Penny Parker? The correct answer is Miles Morales, and for all you Spidey enthusiasts out there, PJ and Gavin have a super movie review coming up next. And I promise that was the last of the puns.
Hey Gavin, it's me, Spider-Man!
Oh hey PJ, how are you?
Hey Gavin, it's me, PJ.
I already knew that. Your disguise is awful because you always are wearing those stupid suits.
They're not stupid.
In your universe, there's only one Spider-Man. But there is another universe. It looks and sounds like yours, but it's not.
I thought this film is likely the best animated film I've ever seen in my life.
It just felt like you were reading a comic book, which I can't believe is a thing I could say.
Every single frame is just so beautiful. It's easy to look at.
The 1 minute that they have to introduce each character was a perfect idea. It got the whole point across, and it just made me be like, yes, I know what's going on in this movie.
This movie's hilarious. Like everything Nick Cage's The Noir Spider-Man is hilarious. I love it so much. Every line just makes me laugh.
It has a good sense of knowing when to make the jokes, because they also have really deep scenes, but they never undermine it by a joke. They know exactly when to play it.
Something I really loved in this film was the score, and I don't just mean the songs that were made for this movie like What's Up Danger or Sunflower, but the actual score for emotional moments or themes for characters. My favorite theme would be Prowler's theme.
Yes!
I love that
Dude,
theme so
it is
much. It is so scary.
Crazy. Every time I hear it, I'm like, whoa.
It's terrifying, and I love it.
As an 18-year-old man, I still get scared whenever I hear that.
That goes along with that chase scene after he learns that it's his uncle,
Yes.
the Prowler. That is my favorite scene in the entire movie.
I agree. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a spectacular animated film. You know what? No, it's a spectacular film. We give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and you can watch it on Netflix right now. Thank you guys for tuning in to this installment of Gavin and PJ's Movie Reviews. Tune in next week for our review on Disney Pixar's Onward.
Keeping things moving, quarantine life so far has been admittedly the bane of just about all productivity for millions of teens across the US, myself included. And I've come to the albeit unscientific conclusion that there are two main reasons why: Netflix and TikTok. Since we just covered a movie from the former, it's only fair for us to cover a creator now from the latter. So I'm gonna hand it over to Tara, who got a chance to talk to a famous TikTok musician.
One of the hottest apps in 2020 is TikTok. Most of the videos on the app are teens making relatable videos or memes, but for some, it's using a talk box. Now, what exactly is a talk box? Here's a small explanation to get to know it better before we hop into our story for this week. Typically, a talk box directs sound from the instrument into the musician's mouth by means of a plastic tube adjacent to their vocal microphone. The musician controls the modification of the instrument sound by changing the shape of the mouth, vocalizing the instrument's output into a microphone. Since we now know what a talk box is, meet Carson Elliott, an 18-year-old who lives in the Chicagoland area and has gotten a ton of attention on TikTok. And you may know him from this video, which blew up and got over 6.9 million likes and 49.4 million views across the app.
Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice your bunches. What's wrong with you? Guys are giving phones. You wanna say so?
From then, Carson has kept up his following and never disappointing covering popular songs with the talk box. I was able to talk to Carson about his newfound fame and what is next for his musical career.
I posted the Say So cover, which is, if you know me, that's like my big video. Funny thing is I posted it, and then for 4 days it was like pretty much silent. It had maybe 8,000 views after 4 days, and then I went to bed and I woke up on the 5th day of it being released and it had 500,000 views overnight. I always put stuff that I believe in out on the internet as opposed to things people want me to do. I just released a single April 4th called Anywhere. That's pretty exciting. Like, that's my first original song.
Let's run away into the sunset. As long as I can hold your hand, I'll be okay. Let's do it again.
Just want to keep making music, and music is my heart and my soul. Social media stuff is cool, but I would rather be known for being a musician rather than being a TikTok sensation or whatever people call it.
Now make sure to follow Carson on TikTok at Carson SM Elliott. He has so much talent and I can't wait to see where he takes it next. Reporting for The Current, I'm Tara Konieczny.
Up next, Sarah's going to give you the latest on Autism Awareness Month 2020. Go ahead, Sarah.
During this month of April, we celebrate Autism Awareness Month. Autism affects about 1 in 50 children, and there is a huge spectrum, ranging from social interactions to communication delays. In more severe cases, those affected will have cognitive impairments, and they seem to be living in their own isolated world. In most cases, however, those affected don't know how to communicate their needs and wants, and this leads to many behavioral issues. To find out more about autism, I had the opportunity to FaceTime Beth Marchetti, a mother to an autistic child and an advocate for the spectrum.
Joshua is my youngest of 3. I knew from the second day he was born that there was something going on. The spectrum is very large and very long in terms of what autism is. It took an entire team of specialists and the family members to take care of Josh. You deal with autism 24/7, and so for us, the home environment became really challenging. There's some great schools for kids with autism. Finding Heartspring was such a gift. It's a wonderful facility. He actually went to Heartspring in April the year he was 11, and he's 15 now. There are lots of different causes out there that you could donate to. And I would say it's either your time, talent, or treasure. HeartSpring has 1 mask per person, and they go home and wash it every night. HeartSpring needs masks. As we're sitting in our homes and you have the ability, now's the time to do something if you can.
It is important to acknowledge those affected by autism all the time, but this month is the perfect opportunity to reach out and support those families who need it the most, especially with the given circumstances. If you want to help out and sew some masks to donate to HeartSpring, or if you just want to find out some more general information, go to www.heartspring.org. In times of crisis, it is up to us to reach out and support those who need it the most. For The Current, I'm Sarah Richardson.
One of the things I'm looking forward to most after graduating from the academy is being able to look back at all the content like this that me and my classmates created. Unfortunately, that's not something we can just fast forward in time and do right now, but what we can do is go and talk to some alumni who once sat in our same shoes. So this week, Jack decided to try out a new segment where he checks in with some Beacon alumni.
Thank you for joining me on this week's edition of Where Are They Now?, a segment that seeks out South Elgin High School alumni and sees where they are today. This week, past Beacon student Lauren Hope fills us in on where she is today, as well as how COVID-19 is affecting her career as a morning meteorologist. Let's check it out.
Now, your 13-burst alert forecast with forecaster Lauren Hope.
And welcome back. Tropical Storm Barry officially forming about an hour.
Okay, hey, my name is Lauren Hope, and I graduated Beacon class of 2016. I'm now currently the weekday morning meteorologist at WMBB. It's the ABC affiliate in Panama City Beach, Florida. We've had quite a few challenges ever since the coronavirus pandemic. One of the things that's really impacted me, one of my favorite parts of this job is getting to engage in the community, getting to engage with our viewers, and I can no longer do that. So all of our engagement is purely digital. I can't host tours and show people around the station. I can't go visit schools and talk about science, talk about meteorology. I can't speak at events. I can't get out in the public and get to meet the people that watch us every day. And without those viewers, what we do really doesn't matter. So that's something that's been kind of challenging and something I look forward to once this pandemic is just a thing of the past. Another thing is we've certainly tweaked just how we produce our newscasts day to day. So all of the multimedia journalists, all the reporters work from home. Their interviews are solely FaceTime interviews. And here in studio, myself and all of our anchors are still coming in. We're still doing the newscast in-house. However, we used to have interaction at the desk together, and I would get to walk over after a weather hit and go talk to the anchors and engage on air, and hopefully the viewers can see our chemistry. But now I purely do my weather hits from the green wall, and it's just a little different in the morning show. Part of the fun behind the morning show is getting to see our fun sides and our personalities, and you can use a lot of personality in morning news, and I think that it's hard to get that when we don't really get to interact anymore, and we do have to keep our distance, and we're sanitizing everything, and it's just been interesting. And the weirdest thing is we just don't know how long it's going to last. I think there's a possibility that we could even have to start working from home. I've seen other stations do that. I know it's possible, so it'll be interesting, but I think we're all just looking forward to when this is over.
Now in this last package, Olivia does her best Mythbusters impression as she takes on some myths swirling around COVID-19.
Have you heard anything that was kind of too crazy to be true about the virus? Well, today we're gonna go over the top myths that definitely are not true about the coronavirus. Coronavirus! All right, the first myth was what happened most recently. It is that 5G is linked to causing the coronavirus. What would a cell tower have anything to do with a virus? Sadly, there's people that believe it's true. In the UK, there were people that were vandalizing and burning 5G cell towers. All right, so another crazy myth is that gargling bleach will help you stay healthy from the coronavirus.
Oh, hell no!
This is another one is
absolutely insane.
First of all, what are you doing with bleach in your mouth? All right, so our last myth is probably the most absurd of them all. So it is that the coronavirus is linked to the Corona beer.
It's Corona time.
Believe it or not, sales for the beer and stocks have plummeted since the whole pandemic. So it's safe to say you can still drink it and not have the coronavirus. Don't put that last part in there, Penny. Ha ha ha. We're not gonna tell people to drink. With all these myths busted, make sure you're staying safe and healthy, and make sure you're staying cautious of your surroundings. From The Current, I'm Olivia Deem.
And unfortunately, that's about all we have for you guys on today's show, but on behalf of the whole crew, we want to thank you for tuning in to The Current. Once again, if you have any story ideas, notice something around the area that you think deserves some recognition, or even just have some feedback for us, our inbox is always open, so feel free to email us at thecurrent20@gmail.com. Anyways, guys, if you celebrate Easter, have a happy holiday, and even if not, I still hope you have a wonderful weekend. Signing off once again for The Current, I'm Daryl Barnes. We'll see y'all next time, and until then, have a great day.